Tonight, a report on a proposed budget increase for Moses Lake, and a man is accused of spitting on a police officer. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Gonzaga men rolled past Northern Arizona University, and CenturyLink Field has been named as a host site for the Copa America Centenario. Let's take a quick peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, here at the Weather Center, conditions slowly improving for our area. The threat remains towards our south. I have more details for you as to what we're expecting for this weekend.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The trial of a former Grant County Sheriff's deputy was pushed back to next year. Corey Linscott appeared in Grant County District Court Friday for the first time since Douglas County Deputy Prosecutor Gordon Edgar decided to lessen the charge against the former deputy. It changed from assault to the 4th degree to disorderly conduct. The trial was rescheduled to early January. Linscott was reportedly arguing with his wife outside of their Quincy home. The argument continued when they went inside and Linscott swore at his wife. Linscott's 18-year-old stepson allegedly verbally defended his mother, and the former deputy responded by telling his stepson that he was 18 and he needed to leave. The stepson claims Linscott allegedly grabbed him by the neck and tried to push him out of the house. Grant County Sheriff Tom Jones fired Linscott in late August after an investigation by Clear Risk Solution. The company acts as the county risk managers. The annual Moses Lake Ag Appreciation Parade is December 4th, and people still have time to register. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
The Moses Lake Agricultural Appreciation Parade is set, but there's still time to register. The event begins at 5 p.m. on December 4th with music and food at St. Square and ends with a parade on 3rd Avenue. It pays tribute to Moses Lake's agricultural heritage. The parade features farm equipment, fire trucks, floats, horses, and candy for the kids. A street party featuring many local organizations offers more family activities. Moses Lake Business Association Executive Director Jasmine DeBeaumont calls the event a holiday tradition for Moses Lake and downtown. Downtown merchants are open for the evening's festivities. The event is sponsored by Confluence Health of Moses Lake and BBSI Business Management Solutions. Moses Lake Business Association is accepting parade entries and sponsorships for the event. The deadline is Wednesday. Forms are available online at mlbcares.org. Sponsorships are needed to help pay for the event. For more information, call 509-764-1754 or 509-770-1700. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Moses Lake Council members got their first look at a proposed $53 million budget. City officials reported the budget is about $6.5 million higher than last year and includes a series of proposed increases for city departments. The expected revenue for the city wasn't included in the budget. The proposed general fund budget shows the majority of the departments are asking for between $60,000 and $340,000 more for next year. The general fund budget contains many of the city's departments, including the police, fire, and parks and recreation. The largest increases occurred in the executive department, which is $146,000 higher than last year, and the fire department, which is asking for $340,000 more than last year. Presentations from the city department directors are expected at the meeting on November 24th. A man is accused of spitting on a police officer after he tried to break into his neighbor's home. Prosecutors charged Jonathan Groover, a 43-year-old Moses Lake resident, in Grant County Superior Court with assault in the 3rd degree, harassment, and assault in the 4th degree. Groover reportedly came to a neighbor's home, began yelling, and tried to force his way into the home. A man visiting Groover's neighbor stopped Groover from going into the residence. Groover allegedly tried to punch him. The man reportedly grabbed Groover and bent one of his fingers to get Groover away from the door. Officers met Groover on the porch, and he allegedly kept demanding his money from the state. After an officer told Groover the police don't handle payments from the government, Groover allegedly spat on the officer. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather. This weather segment is brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. Conditions improving around our area for tonight, dry, clear, and cool overnight. Those temperatures slightly below the normal for this time of year within the next few days. Dry and chilly Friday through Sunday for our area. Taking a closer look at the almanac within the past 24 hours, we started off the morning with temperatures in the lower 30s, very close to the average for this time of year, should be in the upper 20s, and maximum temperatures around the normal for this time of year in the lower 40s, not as warm as that record high of 60 degrees, and that sunset at 4:19 p.m. And for Moses Lake, very similar conditions. Temperatures this morning, the mid 30s, above the normal for this time of year, definitely not as cold as that record high around this time of year of only 4 degrees, and that maximum temperature in the mid 40s. And now, right now, outside your door, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the lower 40s, dew point around the lower 30s, that wind pushing through from the northwest up to 6 miles per hour. Now, due to those winds coming through from the northwest, those temperatures might feel slightly cooler, a few degrees below the normal. Lots of moisture pushing through from the east, that frontal system pushing towards northern parts of Maine. Now conditions will be improving by the weekend. Now another frontal system approaching northern and parts of the central plains, bringing that threat of snow, rain and snow towards central parts of the Mississippi Valley. And all that moisture will push through the Great Lakes, bringing that threat of a wintry mix. For our area, conditions improving, partly to mostly sunny skies are expected by Friday. Dry conditions are expected within the next few days. A cool air mass for our air, and also those winds pushing through from the northwest. Those temperatures will feel slightly cooler for this time of year. Taking a closer look at those temperatures towards the coastal area, ranging from the lower 40s to mid 40s, partly to mostly cloudy skies towards the Yakima Valley. Mostly cloudy skies are expected in the mid 40s. Towards the inland northwest, temperatures in the mid 30s with mostly sunny skies. Now that frontal system pushed through, bringing a drier and cooler air mass. For our area towards the Columbia Basin, temperatures in the lower 40s with mostly sunny skies. Let's take a closer look at the extended forecast for the week. Dry conditions are expected for tomorrow. Sunny skies with temperatures in the lower 40s, slightly below the normal for this time of year. Similar conditions for Saturday and Sunday, and then increasing cloud cover by the beginning of the work week. Mostly cloudy skies with a threat of showers, and another decrease in temperatures by Tuesday into the second half of the work week. Temperatures in the mid 30s, even in the lower 30s by Thursday. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be right back with sports.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Domantas Sabonis scored 26 points in 18 minutes, and number 10 ranked Gonzaga rolled over Northern Arizona University 91-52. The lopsided victory had more than 6,000 rabid fans at the McCarthy Athletic Center beside themselves. The Zags exploited their height advantage with their three big Sabonis, Kyle Wiltshire, and Przemek Karnowski, who combined for 58 points and 23 boards. Gonzaga out-rebounded NAU 53-31 and held a 46-24 edge in points in the paint. The Lumberjacks were limited to 30% shooting and made only 3 of 17 beyond the arc after sinking 15 three-pointers and averaging 75 points in their first 2 games. The Bulldogs are back on the court Saturday when they host St. Mary's. Tip-off is 6 p.m. The Copa American Centenario is coming to CenturyLink Field this summer. The Centenario is the combined North, Central, and South American Soccer Championship, and CenturyLink Field has been selected as one of 10 host sites for the venue. This is the first time the tournament will be hosted in the United States and marks the South American Federation's 100-year anniversary. Play gets underway June 3rd and continues through the 26th. The South American entrants feature former World Cup champions Brazil and Argentina. The U.S., Mexico, Costa Rica, Jamaica, and 2 to be determined will complete the field. Felix Van Hoff was 7 of 12 from downtown as Eastern Washington knocked off Seattle U 76-70. Van Hoff finished with 25 points for the Eagles, while Austin McBroom added 16. Eastern jumped out to an early lead in the first half and kept at it at the break 38-30. Seattle U made a run in the second half behind former Big Ben star Brandon Westendorf's 10 points, but couldn't catch the Eagles. Westendorf finished with a game-high 20 points for the Redhawks, adding 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Jack Crook finished with 10 points and 5 assists for Seattle. The Redhawks will have an opportunity for payback Monday as the 2 teams face off again. This time, it's in Seattle. The Seattle Sounders have reportedly offered a contract to Stanford standout Jordan Morris. According to Sports Illustrated, the Mercer Island native has been offered the most lucrative homegrown player deal in MLS history. The Sounders have had interest in signing the 21-year-old since his freshman year with Stanford. Morris has recently been called up to play with the U.S. men's national team and has performed well. Jordan has close ties with the Sounders, as his dad, Michael, is the club's medical director. We'll be back after this short break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a tutoring program at a Moses Lake Elementary School, helping students overcome frustrations of not keeping pace with their peers. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Every weeknight at North Elementary School, a group of tutors takes time out to help students who are struggling with their classwork and give them new ways to learn core subjects. The Exploratorium was started in 2012 as a collaboration between North Elementary, the Boys and Girls Club, Century 21, and Washington State University Extension's 4-H Club. Director Jessica Luna talked about how the program works to help North students better understand the curriculum and also expose them to new concepts and projects.
So what we do is we're an enrichment program, so we come alongside the teachers in the school, and our main focus is math, like STEM, so science, technology, math, engineering, and coming alongside and reading, getting their levels up. So our goal is every year to have a 5 to 6% increase on the students that we have. So we target 80 students throughout the whole year and then watch them grow. So what we do is we take the 2nd through 5th graders, and from 4 to 5, we do homework, and then we do a computer program called MathWiz to help them on their math. And so after that, from 5 to 6:30, they can choose. They can either have recreational time in the gym with the Boys and Girls Club, they can go have art with them over there, and we have STEM projects here. So 2 out of the 5 days we do STEM projects, and then sometimes they go longer. Sometimes I do week-long projects with them where they have to do research, if they're engineering, if they're building bridges, if they're building certain structures or learning about the structures. We learn about that and research that because they're older, so we work mainly with those. And then on Mondays, every other week, we do culture days. So we teach them about our culture. So we've learned about Mexico, we've learned about Russia. They want to learn about China, so that one will be our next one. So those are some of the things that we do.
One of the biggest problems for students who struggle is feeling the frustration of not being able to keep pace with their peers. North Elementary Principal Kelly Frederick said the Exploratorium helps kids overcome their frustration and find enjoyment in learning.
Right, if we can start that cycle of success, whether it's after school, whether it's in the classroom with your extra para helping out, or it's in that teacher that makes that connection and finds that, it adds that persistence or grit to a student for wanting to, value learning for themselves. And it's not just a place I have to go, but it's a place I want to go and want to learn. This all just helps each other do that because they're helping build the vocabulary they're going to hear. And Jessica being in the classroom and learning the same language. Math is being taught different than a lot of our parents know, or how we did it when we were going to school. And so all the tutors, everybody needs to be on the same page to help the child just simplify it. And so that does help us.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. An appeals court upheld the conviction of a gang member accused of assaulting a corrections officer while he was attacking another inmate. The Washington Court of Appeals upheld the conviction of Marcos Avelos-Bayera, a 25-year-old man, for custodial assault and assault in the 4th degree. The judges found Avelos-Bayera should be held responsible for assaulting a corrections officer, and prosecutors proved the other man wasn't defending himself. Avelos-Bayera was sentenced to 9 months in jail in 2014 after he attacked another gang member in the jail. 2 corrections officers were escorting an inmate to the visitors area when Avelos Barrera ran to the other inmate, attacking him. Avelos Barrera's attorney argued to the appeals court judges his client did not intend to hit the corrections officer, so he can't be convicted of assaulting him. The judges disagreed. A new pageant for girls with Down syndrome is on Saturday, and iFIBER 1 News will be there to broadcast the event live. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
The first special star pageant for girls with Down syndrome takes place Saturday in Moses Lake. The event begins at 2 p.m. in the New Beginnings Christian Center at 318 North Shore Drive. The pageant is to be broadcast live on iFIBER Channel 1, but if you are not an iFIBER Communications TV subscriber, you can watch it live online. You can go to iFIBER1.com and click on the Live TV button in the upper right corner of the web page. It lets you watch the show by streaming video. The mission of the pageant is to provide a positive experience for girls and young women with disabilities while building their confidence and self-esteem. The pageant is directed by Pam Colonel of Moses Lake, who is state director of the Mrs. Washington America pageant. Admission for the Special Star pageant is $5, and proceeds go to the Down Syndrome Society of Grant County. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
A driver allegedly reached 100 miles per hour before hitting a curb and stopping in a parking lot while fleeing police. Prosecutors charged Juan Barahona Armas, a 30-year-old Seattle man, in Grant County Superior Court with attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle and DUI. A Moses Lake police officer allegedly spotted Barahona Armas speeding with his headlights off on West Broadway Avenue. When the officer signaled the man to pull to the side of the road, Barahona Armas reportedly stopped in the middle of the road. The officer walked to the side of the car and reportedly spotted an open beer can and smelled alcohol coming from the vehicle. Barahona Armas reportedly started moving the vehicle slowly to the right before accelerating. He allegedly reached 100 miles per hour during a roughly 1-mile flight before hitting a curb and stopping the car in a parking lot. In Northwest News, it's been 3 months since Daniel Lyon was injured in the Washington wildfires over the summer. 3 other firefighters died that day, and Lyon was burned over 60% of his body. Como's Molly Shen was there when Lyon finally got to go home from the hospital.
3 months after being airlifted to Harborview, clinging to life, Daniel Lyon walked out and spoke about his fellow firefighters and his future for the first time.
It felt great walking outside today. Feeling the fresh air it's something you take for granted.
Lyon had 11 surgeries, including skin grafts and the amputation of his badly burned fingertips.
It's contoured for his eyes.
He wears a mask to help limit scarring. Doctors say the hundreds of letters that came in also made a real difference.
I think that really buoyed him throughout his hospital stay and gave him a will to recover.
Lyon was with 3 other firefighters trying to outrun an exploding wildfire in Twisp when their vehicle crashed. Richard Wheeler, Andrew Zajac, and Tom Bershevsky died. Lyon said he lost 3 brothers that day.
Those guys are on my mind on a constant basis, and it's something you can't get out of your mind. The pain of that is definitely way harder than any physical pain that you can imagine.
A lifelong outdoorsman, Lyon is under doctor's orders to return to being as active as possible.
You know, I can't climb mountains right now, but right now I can climb hills, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
First, he wants to see his dog and have a good meal.
What are you going to eat?
Steak. Definitely.
Lyon will be back for physical therapy, but walked out of the hospital without help, ready to live the life he is grateful to have.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.